conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. We're starting the Roosevelt Forest Commission meeting on March 22nd, 2023. It's 6:33 p.m., and I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'm looking for the approval of minutes from the special meeting on February 28th, 2023.
Ellen Carey.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Second.
I heard a motion by Ellen. I heard a second by Bill O'Brien, if my ears are good. I know there were some additions. Any other additions to the minutes? I think we're good. Thumbs up for good. We'll use those. If no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Excellent. We got some continuing items, and we first, before we get into the continuing items, I just want to pretty sure everybody who matter of fact, I am sure that everyone who wanted to still serve on the committee, if you have to get sworn in, you have to go to the town clerk's office. And for public notice, I took my oath yesterday. I actually also put in, I'll protect lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. But everybody, we have to go down to the town clerk's office and get sworn in. So, please schedule that or just stop down Town Hall. They're very accommodating. Perfect. Continuing items, the boardwalk on the Orange Trail. Do we have any updates at all? This is just going to be a continuing item until we get CapEx to fix it, I think. Kelly was on last time talking about it, so cool. Any other discussion? I don't want to cut off anything. Cool. The dog park. Well, I do have some update on that. So there was a storm a couple weeks ago, and I believe it was power lines actually went onto the fence and knocked down a portion of the fence. The larger dog section, there's two 1 acre fences, as we know, one for small dogs, one for larger dogs. But the large dog enclosure is closed till further notice. The town is going to repair the fence. I don't have a timetable. I don't have an estimate. I don't have any of that information. But if anybody does here, feel free to let me know.
Is that part of us taking care of it, or is it?
The town of Stratford is, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, we don't have a budget for it anyways. It would be under Public Works repair
Yep.
on the line item, but our line item really consists of very nominal cost just to cover our secretary for our meeting. So.
Yep. Thank you.
Our underpaid secretary, I'll put on public record. Thank you. I did get a smile out of that. Friends of Roosevelt Forest, the Facebook page. Bob, is Bob on? I didn't see Bob's page. Bob is not on. So I am going to assume he's kind of the caretaker of that. But if anybody else has an update. None. Ultra marathons, if on the agenda, which even if you could just scroll down a little bit, I think, or I can't see it, but I can see it on my agenda. As we know, we have one coming up in April before our next meeting. That's the Forgotten Forest Ultra, which is a 9-hour run. And we have a couple going till April of 2024. We need to approve one this evening, the Enchanted Forest Ultra Run, which is a 6-hour run on September 23rd, 2023.
It's actually 24. That's a typo.
24.
So
You're right. 24. Thank you.
Yep.
yeah, I could be fired. I understand.
Stop it.
You're not getting fired. We talked about that. So September 23rd, 2024. I'm looking for a motion for approval.
Ellen Carey.
Ellen Carey with a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Peggy? Any discussion? I don't want to cut off discussion on this. So this is Lou's thing. What we're doing, just to remind everybody, I think what was it, an 18-month window, right? So Lou can get out marketing materials and get people signed up for the race and all that stuff. So, and he takes care of, I assume he takes care of all the permits with the rec department, Eileen, with that.
That is correct. Yeah.
So we don't really have to do anything except this approval. So if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Park repair. I actually have an update. So as Kelly spoke at the last meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the we'll say those ugly cement fire pits, I can call them that because no one's really loves them, are pretty much, I think, all filled in or have been removed at this time. And there was a couple of dangerous things, hazards that were removed. So I can't ask you guys enough. If you see something, definitely not say something, but actually write something. Send an email to myself and Kelly. You can CC everybody if you want, but it definitely us to actually Aileen as well. Um, just to make sure it does get repaired. If you see something dangerous in the forest, there was a tree that was down in the middle of the forest, so we got that removed from the one of the trails. So things are the Public Works is very good on reacting on hazards right away. So just let us know. And on that, does anybody have anything egregious out there?
No.
I will take no news as good news. Map updates. I know the town, I heard this just the other day, is going for some grant to help with the mapping, even more mapping for the forest. So stay tuned for that. Doesn't include new trails or stuff, but there is a grant that the town is applying for. So if you want to throw that in the minutes, that is new news. Bill, do you know anything about that? Bill
Nothing
O'Brien?
specific. I know it was mentioned, and I know they're doing a great job going after grants throughout town for all sorts of things.
So you heard the same thing I heard, right?
Yes,
It's a
yes, I
grant
did.
from that. They
Yeah,
applied for it. They weren't granted the grant though. Or did it get approved? Do you know?
I think it's in the process,
Okay.
being applied for.
Okay. QR codes for mapping and forest information. Chuck, that's kind of, you're a little bit involved in that, right? With your scout. You're on mute, Chuck.
Talked about the last meeting was that Kelly would talk to Metrocog and see if they could do it. And she was going to also look into hosting the map on the town website somewhere, so that would be directed.
I have a funny feeling, Chuck, some of this stuff that we're talking about, the grants, is probably somehow tied into this as well. That's just my hunch. So
Okay.
I might be completely wrong, but it sounds like there's only so much mapping you can do. So it sounds pretty good. All right. The Roosevelt Forest Hiking Challenge. Peggy, you're on.
Thanks. I do have a little information. I'm happy to share this via email, a link. I have a Google Doc that just starts to allow participants to track what trails they've challenged. I'd love ideas how to put it together, just how to put something together to help people track. But the biggest thing I have, I created a map using a mapping app based on Kelly's map, where I just highlighted or outlined all the trails in the appropriate color, because some people are going to need that. It can be an interactive map if they choose to download a free app called Gaia GPS. And if they ask for it, they can have a link to the map. And like I said, I have a Google Doc link that I can email people for their reaction or comment.
That would be great.
And I can do that now. I don't know how fast.
Well, it's something maybe we could all look at and maybe for the next meeting
Yeah,
talk about more.
I would love people's opinions and commentary on it because, you know, I feel like obviously I welcome participation is what I'm struggling to say. I'm also struggling to find this link. Oh, I have it. So that's the
Or
bulk.
just send it to us at a later time, though, if you want. I don't want to,
Okay.
put
Obviously,
everybody on pressure.
I'm not
Hey,
multitasking as well, but that's what
I think what's it,
I'm
the one thing I wanted to bring up with that, though, Peggy, and I was going to ask you and the entire commission, the Stratford Chamber of Commerce, in conjunction with the Bridgeport Regional Business Council, is doing a chamber wellness challenge. And last year really wasn't publicized too much, but we did one of those challenges. It wasn't, we're just trying to get steps in. There's no formal thing, but we did have a day where we all met at the forest and we just did a little hike, and we're not talking about doing every trail. Some hardcore people can do that, but it was just going, taking the Blue Trail all the way down to Pumpkin Brown Brook and all the way around. It was a good 45-minute to an hour and 15 walk, depending on which path you took. So what I'm going to do for the commission, if we pick a day, the chamber, I'm going to invite the entire commission to come down if you can make it that time. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a midday walk type thing, like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, because we're trying to do it during work hours, believe it or not, because it's a business thing. So, go ahead, Peggy.
Is the Chamber of the Business Council's program in conjunction with National Get Outside Day? Do you know?
I do know it has nothing to do with that at all.
Okay.
This is I can't think of the healthcare group, and I should. It's an old friend of mine from high school who's from Maine. He put this together, and he's got chambers throughout Connecticut doing these health challenges. The BRBC, which is the Bridgeport Chamber, the Stratford Chamber, and Trumbull Chamber, are all doing it jointly together. So maybe one day we might do a walk in Beardsley Zoo. One day we might do a walk on the Pine Trail. We're not talking about anything. We're not competing with Lou on the ultra marathon. Let's just put it that way. It is probably the opposite of that. But it's something that I think just to get people out in the forest, I think it'll be pretty neat. But it's going to be a Stratford Chamber. When I say sponsored event, we're not spending any money. There's no cost to go. It's just we're meeting at 2 o'clock. Everybody bring water bottles, and that's pretty much going to be it.
You're hosting.
Yeah, we're just hosting. There's nothing formal. We don't need a rental of the pavilion. It's just going to be meet in the parking lot and take a walk in the forest.
So is it only
hopefully we
people
plan
on
a
the
day that
commission?
doesn't work.
Sorry. Is it people only on the commission?
Oh no, whoever wants to come. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Just wanted to get that clear.
I was just whoever wants to come. It's not a formal thing, and
Okay.
yeah, it'll be neat. Actually, I'd like a lot of people. I would love a lot of people to show up, so a lot of people at the commission show up, so no one gets lost in the forest. But if last year we only had about, I think, a half a dozen people show up, so it wasn't like a huge event. It's I'm not expecting big numbers, but if we can get like 10, 15, 20 people up there, it'd be cool.
Is this something that can be posted on Friends of group?
Absolutely. As soon as we figure out a date, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll make sure Bob knows. We're literally, we just got the signups today. The sign up list came up to sign up to do the Chamber Wellness Challenge. So all the chambers are competing against each other, and there is going to be a prize. It's $40 to register. You don't. No one here has to register. Just if you want to, you can, but you don't have to. But the winning chamber, all the money is going to go to a nonprofit. So I think it's going to go to the Stratford Education Fund, the Bridgeport Education Fund, the Trumbull Education Fund. We're going to split it up 3 ways. So
Excellent.
I'm sorry, who registers?
it's
Who
the
pays?
chamber members. Chamber members.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's because it's a chamber challenge, so it's the chamber members. But you're more than welcome. If we can talk offline, Peggy, if you're interested, I can give you some details.
Why do I not remember this from last year?
I'm sorry?
I said, why do I not remember this from last year? Because I would have joined.
It might, you know what? You might not have known about it. I'm not sure if it came in
Okay.
front of the commission.
Okay.
It
Thank
was
you.
put together pretty quickly last year. I remember that because
Okay.
I put it together within 2 weeks. So,
Okay. Thank you.
it was. And again, it's just to let everybody know about it. It's good. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I just went off my email, so give me 1 second. Sorry.
Well, following the meeting, I'll shoot out my link and people can have access to the file,
Well, thank you.
comment. I would love opinions, comments.
Mhm. Perfect. Any other discussion on Peggy's on the Roosevelt hiking hiking challenge? I should say that's Peggy's.
It's the
So
commission.
more good news. Nothing I could share, but the expansion of Roosevelt Forest, the town is actively, and I guess Bill might be able to share some stuff, but the grants on trying to acquire more space, and that's going pretty fast. I understand. Is that correct, Bill? Can I share that?
That's what I understand. It sounds good. It sounds very positive.
Yeah. So no news, but coming at a theater near you. Trail markers. Just to let Frank know, or Frank's not on the call today, right? I think he had a conflict. But I did find some extra trail markers. I have some at the house here. I have different colors. But as of right now, I don't see any trail markers that we need to go out there. But again, if you hear of something, please let me know. Ellen, you're
I
talking.
think we're good.
Okay. And I know Bob Ford's not here. He doesn't want us overmarking the forest, so I always very conscious of that. So
Right. I think last meeting we sort of decided that we're good for now.
we're good for now. I agree. Cameras. I actually have an update. I've been told, and I think I might have told you this last, that by Memorial Day, the camera should be installed at Roosevelt Forest.
Yay.
A couple of them. So that's the latest update before Memorial Day. So when that is it next week, 3 weeks from now? I'm not sure, but but that's the information I was provided, just to tell everybody. So if it's not installed by Memorial Day, it's not on me. We will push that back. So I'm only as good as the information provided. You like how I danced on that one, right, Chuck? Yeah, thank you. And that, I believe, is going to be it's going to be on one of the poles near the pavilion. So it's aimed at the ranger station and pavilion. I believe one to the entrance to the range for the police department, and I believe there's going to be one at the dog park where they put that post up near the small dog enclosure there, because they did put a post up there a while back. That's what I believe. So if anybody has different information, please share with this commission.
Nothing in, they're not going to put one in the group camping area?
Not that I'm aware of at this time. Unless, did they put a post up there? Did they put anything up there preparing for it, Chuck?
I haven't noticed anything. We're going to be up there camping the week before the next ultra marathon, so I can look, but there's been quite a bit of vandalism back there over the years, so it's kind of hidden.
Chuck,
So
if you want to send me an email on that, and I'll forward it up to definitely CC Aileen, and we'll send it to Larry Corelli. I have no problem. I mean, unless, are you guys okay with cameras going near there, Chuck?
I am. I mean, I think it would be a good idea. It'd be nice to know when it's being used, when it's not supposed to be used. So,
Okay.
so
Does
there's
is
always.
anybody else? Is anybody have any concerns about that? I want to ask.
No, but I haven't seen any vandalism lately because I drive up with the tracker just to make sure. I haven't even seen like beer bottles that I've been picking up like a year ago, so it's been pretty nice.
All right. Again, I am not against it. I just want to make sure the commission's on board with it. So Chuck, if you could send me a quick little email on that, that'd be great. We'll put it in the minutes as well. That we're looking to have a camera installed there. I have a feeling it might not happen this round. Matter of fact, because I just haven't heard anyone mentioning it of there.
Right.
Those are the three cameras I know about. When I say cameras, it might be multiple cameras in that one area. The assets I was very concerned with was really the pavilion and the ranger station, 1 and 2. Dog park being number 3. But it's the vandalism with the scout camps. I have no problem with putting a camera there as well. And PD wants the camera going into the range, so that's
Right.
on them. So perfect, great. New business.
I have an update on something that we briefly touched on last week. The bridge, the footbridge that's on the Lime Green Trail.
Mhm.
So Kelly went out and took a picture of it, and she sent it to me, and it does look like something that a scout was able to handle. And I have a scout who's interested, so I'm going to try to get him going soon.
That's great news. And the other new business, any other new business? I do have some. I'm approaching the athletic directors of both Bunnell and Stratford for just to spread some wood chips. So it's kind of, we need more wood chips down there, but we got to organize it where they drop it on a Thursday and get some of the sports teams so they have some bonding. It shouldn't take them that long, but get the teams out there to spread the chips. So. And that it would be in the entrance of the Pumpkin Ground Road area to the bridge there, because it's just a mud trap trying to walk. Once you get to the bridge, it's fine, but it's it's a low-lying area. It's muddy even during the dry season. So, um,
Hey, Bob, if you don't have any luck with the athletic directors, reach out directly to the football coaches. They've been very responsive in the past, providing volunteers.
hey Bill, do you have good contacts with them?
Yeah, Nate at
I
Stratford
would.
High, and I can't think of the guy's name at Bunnell right now, but I've got information on him.
But I know you got a lot going on, but would you want to make that reach if you have a good contact with them?
Yeah,
That'd be
so what do you
huge.
think of like some Saturday?
Yeah, whatever day they want. We'll have to coordinate with Kelly. Have the public works drop it off on a Thursday, Friday. I just don't want it at the end of the road for 2 weeks. You know how that goes.
And probably
Um,
sometime in April when it's a little warmer.
yeah, it'd probably be the April, May timeframe. But I got to make sure Public Works has that. Public Works is trying to get all those ball fields done too.
Right.
So it's you don't want to you want to be cognizant of the manpower shortages we have with those guys too. But again,
All
I'm
right, I'll
trying to.
reach out to the two coaches.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good bonding thing for them. That'd be great. Thank you, Bill. And just reach me offline if you need it. Any questions? Anything else?
So I have a question,
Sure.
and I'm not sure that this is part of the Roosevelt Forest, but I just learned this past week that in the Boy Scout camp, Girl Scouts are not allowed to do a sleepover.
Well,
Is any,
I can address that. It is a scout camp. I've never heard of anything. I think we kind of addressed that years and years ago. But Chuck, do you know anything about that?
So um, the Scouts BSA has girl troops now, and they are allowed to camp in the same um, campground as a boy troop as long as they have separate sites. So I don't know if the group, so if a girl troop wants to camp up there, there's no restriction from Scouts BSA on that. The restriction is that they would have to have a big enough area that the boys are in one area and the girls are in the other. I kind of feel like that might be plausible there. It is, there are several lean-tos and there's different areas to set up tents. Um, so I'm not sure where you're getting your information.
Yeah, and Ellen, I'm just gonna kind of dovetail on this because we had if you remember when Sterling House and with the Indian princesses and Indian guides wanted to sleep up there. I think that's what they were called then. I think it's
yes,
been renamed since then. I apologize. So we, as a Roosevelt Forest Commission, I believe, and Aileen's going to have to help me here. They go through the rec department anyways, right, to reserve that weekend. And I go ahead, Aileen. You probably have more information than I do. Or
So we only, well, I handle the Roosevelt Forest rentals. I only put one troop there at a time, regardless if it's Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. I think there was one, maybe two times when I had to say no to troop 123, and I said, because troop 456 is using it, and they said, oh, I'll just reach out to that leader because they've only got 8 kids, I've only got 6, and they were, well, at the time it was all Boy Scouts. But
right,
I've never it's primarily Boy Scouts who choose to use it. The girls, there's one troop that's using the pavilion. They want to use it like for an all day, like a, I don't know, 4 to 10 for a night meeting and roasting marshmallows or something. But I've never not said no to a troop sleeping over because they were girls, and I've never given it to 2 troops at a time if they want to do that
yes,
on their own. But I've never said no to a Girl Scout troop.
okay, that's fine.
So
I
there
got the
no,
are,
mark.
no problem. No, I'm glad you brought it up because I want to. This is something we want to get out there. Whatever. Honestly, if it's a Boy Scout, if 3 Boy Scout troops want to use it the same weekend, the first Boy Scout troop, if they can get the other 2 in there, it's just by order. Oh, and by the way, if the Girl Scout troop has it that weekend, the Boy Scouts are going to have to wait. It's just, or do another weekend or kind of make arrangements within themselves. But
Yep,
as the Roosevelt Forest Commission, let me be crystal clear: we don't discriminate whether it's a Boy Scout group or a Girl Scout group or another town-sponsored camping group, I should call it. Right? Is that fair to say? Yeah. I want to
perfect.
include
That's what I
Sterling
wanted
House.
to
I don't know
hear.
what they're called nowadays. Um,
I would
Somebody
just
help.
like to, I would like us to be open to the possibility of a troop inviting another troop if they're both small, or if one is larger and one is small, because we have done that in the past, and I didn't know there was a prohibition, but where we've invited other troops that are small, they've never taken us up on that. But that is something that I think we should be open to if there's cooperation. If they come in together, so to speak, I think we should allow that. Um, and then I will say also that we don't have one in Stratford, but there are towns where there's one troop and there's the girl troop and the boy troop, but they share resources. And they go on campouts on the same weekends And it's just a separation of accommodation that is required. And then a girl troops always has to have at least one female adult leader there. Other than that, there are a lot of scout events where there are multiple troops there and the girls have one site and, or two sites and boys have other ones. So, I think what might be open to interpretation is that one group camping area big enough to be considered two areas? And
Well,
I sort of
I
think, when we use it, our scouts all go down the hill and the adults all stay up near the chapel and that newest pavilion. So that's a pretty decent separation. They're all down at the bottom of the hill camping ground or lean-to. We're up at the other one, and I would think that that's enough separation, but that would be open to a
If I
given
could just,
sure,
scout.
Elaine, if you could chime in.
if I could just interject, honest to God, when someone tells me like, I am with troop 123, Stratford, we want to camp for this weekend. I have never, ever, ever, when it's like troop 123, I've never asked, is it boys? Is it girls? How many do you have of each? And honestly, from the recreation department standpoint, it's kind of a logistic nightmare to question how many people are you having? How many people are you having? What is it you're doing? Is that going to interfere with another group? Which is why I would say to Joe Schmo, who's asking for it, no, Bob David with Troop 789 has it, and then he can take it upon himself to contact Joe Schmo and then say and talk about, I have 4, you
Right.
have 6, we're doing this. Is it compatible with what you're doing? I think that's above and beyond from a recreation department standpoint, trying to figure out numbers and compatibility. I'll give the permit to the first person who asks. And if that person wants to allow other people to join them, that's, I think, on them.
And I think that's the way we've been doing it. I think, knock on wood, I haven't heard any complaints in the past 10 plus years on that part. We've had little hiccups here and there, and we've kind of worked them out, but no complaints. So I think we're in good shape on that. But again, Ellen, if you hear something different, please let us know because we don't. I can speak for everybody here. Nobody wants that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Nope. I'm glad you brought it up. Any other new business for this great commission we have here?
Hey, Bob, let me
Yep.
mention
Sure.
something. I could have mentioned it under ultra marathons, but I reached out to Lou Loban for more information about the marathons. I asked him like how many participants typically and where do they come from and all, but he sent a great response. He also mentioned he has a need for volunteers, and for the Forgotten Forest 9-hour, he could use at least 2 more volunteers, and he pays them a little bit too if some young person wants to make a little money. So if you know of anybody, he's looking for some volunteers, and they don't have to do the whole time, any amount of time they want to do.
I mean, the first pool bank I would think of is be contact the track coach or the cross country coach of the 2 high schools because that's probably where you're going to get some seniors and juniors looking to make some money. That'd
Good
probably be
idea.
the first thing. So if you want to send Lou a quick little text or someone wants to let him know, that's where I would start, and he could probably get some good labor there. But
I'll
again,
let them know.
Lou kind of runs. Whoever wants to volunteer for Lou, I let Lou kind of run the races. I don't want to start micromanaging who's got to be hired. That's for sure. Great, but thank you, Bill, for sharing. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe Chuck's got some Boy Scouts that want to do it.
I can let them know.
Perfect. Any other discussions, additions, omissions? Remember again, everybody, if you got a letter in the mail, if you weren't reappointed, get down to the town clerk's office, if you can, and get sworn in. So as soon as you can.
If nothing else, motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Bill. Do I have a second?
Helen.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you so much for serving. Meeting's ended at 7:09 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.